describe that. Tell me what you mean by that.
I think if you saw the video, and I'm sure you have, it's almost
staged.
Well, not on my part.
No, not you. I'm talking about him.
Just finding the 3 pavers, and then after came out of the woods, I'm going to skip over here just a little bit, and said we have one more location to go to, and he'd been on the phone again, which wasn't on tape, and he said we have another location to go to, and he had called this whoever he was talking to, and I said we got another location to go to. He said yeah. So then we left there and went to a street relatively close to the area, okay, and went and as soon as he got out of the car. Immediately went to this particular house. Again, you've seen him on TV where he went over to some black plastic bags and started cutting it open with some kind of a knife. I'm not sure what kind of knife. And I'm thinking, why are you doing this? It's pretty strange. And then they found nothing in those bags. And then we went around to the side of the house, and the gate was like partly open. And he went back, and again on the videotape you see what was back there. And but subsequently found some 2x4s laying over again, 3 more pavers right next to the house, right in the line.
Right.
And I thought that was kind of strange. Searched the backyard and went to this area, and this is by the I think there's an air conditioning unit right nearby, and he moved those pavers. And I think on the first day, the first day he dug down, I think with a hand spade or something. Again, it's on the video. And didn't find anything, and then we left there. And I don't remember. I think after we left that house, I think at that point is when we went to the I'm going to call it meet and greet, where we met George and Cindy and Michelle.
Let's not leave the woods yet.
Okay.
It's fair to say, I'm going to use your words, not mine, that when he was out there being filmed, he was showboating.
Yeah, it's got the impression I got.
Kind of like, would you describe it like kind of putting on I guess showboating means putting on a show.
Well, yeah, but I think it was, I don't think it was so much for, I think you may be insinuating for the defense or something. I think it was more for
what?
I hate to answer these questions.
For what? For who?
For Cindy, perhaps.
Why?
Again, just a thought.
Why do you think so?
Had impressed people with his ability to be a private investigator, I guess. Again, this is all supposition on my part.
As a real professional, were you impressed with his skills as a private investigator?
I'd rather not say. But I think it's not particularly.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, he never ever told me what investigations he'd done, other than he had interviewed some people, as I mentioned earlier.
Did he ever go out to Sawgrass Apartments? To your knowledge?
He said he had.
Did he ever go out to Blanchard Park?
I don't remember him saying he went to Blanchard Park.
How much time did he spend looking for Zenaida Gonzalez?
He didn't tell me. He didn't give me the amount of time.
Did y'all ever talk about Zenaida Gonzalez?
Just what I told you earlier.
One time.
He only said it one time, yeah.
So here's the person who's got the child and the chief investigator for the Anthony's.
The chief private investigator.
Chief private investigator for Baez, Anthony's, Casey Anthony, only mentions to you this whole time, one time, Zenaida Gonzalez.
Yes, sir.
That had to seem odd to you.
Well, I mean, he told me there was 14 of them that, and again, when he told me this, he believed that Kaylee was still alive.
But you understand this.
That's my impression.
But you understand he had been told that Zenaida Gonzalez took the child from Sawgrass Apartments.
That, yes, sir.
So didn't it seem strange to you that the kidnapper was not the focus of 24-hour around-the-clock focus?
Again, that's something you'd have to ask him.
I'm asking you, did that seem odd to you that you only mentioned her name one time, yet you're chasing every other lead in America?
He's chasing every lead, yeah.
Didn't that seem odd to you?
Oh, certainly.
And weren't all these leads that were being followed coming from Cindy Anthony to him? Because they were calling her in the helpline.
I guess, again, you'd have to ask them.
And weren't they going to Ohio and Atlanta and Miami? And
I don't know anybody that physically went there.
But weren't those where these tips were coming from?
According to the news, yes, sir.
And all these tips were coming to him, and he was theoretically investigating them. Now, how long do you think you were there in the woods?
The first day?
Yeah.
Probably in the woods itself, probably 20 minutes. Again, just a guess, And
then you come out, what happens?
Then we went over to the house I mentioned, searched that for another, I guess, again, another 20 minutes or so.
Around the house?
Yes, sir.
You didn't go in the house?
Yes, sir.
And then what happened?
Then we left there. And I don't remember, I'd had to look at the tape again. I don't remember if we went back to the woods that first day. But I think that we left there and went to the meet and greet. We had supposed to have been out there, I think, at 9 or 9:30. We got there 11:30 maybe. And George and Cindy were there in the tent. They were selling the T-shirts and the normal things. People come up and they were very pleasant and supporting the family. And Lee showed up a little bit later.
And what happened the rest of that day?
The rest of that day, people just came and spoke with George and Cindy and gave them their support. And
after you all failed to find the body, what conversation did you and Dominic have?
Oh, I was glad that we didn't find the body.
What'd you all say? Did you say who was the tip? Who gave?
Well, I asked him that more than once during the course of the day.
He kept saying,
"Well, I say it's just a I think he said that once or twice. It's an anonymous tip, or he just didn't say anything." And once you realize somebody's not going to tell you, I'm not going to be beating on them.
So when you didn't find the body, did you say the tipster was wrong?
Well, I figured his tips were wrong. Like I say, he had told me they had dozens, not hundreds, I think probably hundreds of tips during the course of his investigation.
Now you go to the meet and greet, and that's over at the Anthony home? Or?
No, sir. That was a site in Orlando. I don't remember the street, but they had a tent set up, and they called it their command center. They sold the T-shirts and buttons and that sort of thing.
Who was selling T-shirts and buttons?
George and Cindy were there, but they had volunteers there.
Did they get the profits from the?
I don't know what they do with the money. I think a lot of it went to the Kids Find Network. Okay. But again, that's just a guess because they were there also.
What'd you do the rest of the day?
Stayed there with them, just make sure no crazies came out there with baseball bats, and and they didn't, and I think we stayed till I think they closed that down at 4. We kind of like just hung around and and then I think we finally left about 4:20. But Dominic had asked me to come back the next day. He wanted to go back and search the woods again.
So you went back the next day?
Yes, sir.
What time did you get back there the next day?
He wanted to do it a little bit earlier, if I'm not mistaken.
This is now the 16th.
Yes, sir.
Sunday.
Yes, sir.
And what time did you get there? Did you meet at DNA?
Met at his office again.
And now you're driving him back out again?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And so now how long are you in the woods this time? What do you say? So do you pull up to the exact same spot again?
No. This time I drove straight down. I didn't make a U-turn and come back up to where I parked the first day. I had parked closer to where the I'm going to again call them pavers. Parked close to where we thought they were. Okay, and then we got in the car. He went to the trunk of my car. And
is he dressed now for the search?
Yes, sir. Now he's got on jeans, and I don't remember if he had boots on, but he had a jacket on, and I think he had a camera with him. He had a camera with him. I don't know if it was the first or second.
Did you ask him? Did you say, "Why are we going back"?
Yeah. I said, "Why are we going back?"
What did you say?
Just I just want to search the area a little more. Just
the exact same area.
Well, he just said we're going. He didn't say the exact same area. He just said we'll go back and search again.
But the woods. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
And so this time, when we were, let me go back a little bit. When we were at his office, we did not go in. He just went to his trunk, or his truck rather, and raised the lid and took out a rod that you saw in the videotape. And but this time he had on a jacket, jeans, and that sort of thing. I think he had gloves with him. And I'm trying to remember, first or second day.
Are you filming again?
Oh, of course.
Right.
Yeah. I know. He said he didn't know I was filming. Come on. He held the camera going down. So
he held the camera going into the woods.
Well, no, when we drove down the first time, because when I drove down there, I had my 2 cameras on the front seat.
And later he said he didn't know you were filming.
I know.
What do you think about that remark?
Well, it's just one of those little stories.
Yeah. Why do you think he said that?
Why does Dominic say anything?
Okay.
Yeah.